Listen, have you ever heard of a sunny day with no sun, overcast and rain with no clouds? How about a feather that weighs a ton? Have you ever danced to a song without a melody, banging on a drum without a sound? 1 + 1 = 2. What goes up must come down. It's not possible to make decisions and live your life without a form of truth. Is not logical. In fact, it's quite comical, and you might need a hospital to say there's no truth is just not optional. If that's your stance, I recommend you take a better look and not a glance. Be still, close your eyes, silence your soul like you're looking at a sunrise. Step out of your box and take the bird's eye view. See, the real question is, do you want to know the truth? Solve a great mystery, looking for all the clues. Some things can be explained without having physical proof. Take time to investigate it. Deep down, you know there's a meaning to life, you just can't appreciate it. That unexplained feeling deep in your soul, feeling like you got a heart of gold with a big hole in it, hollow like a peace pipe, just keep getting high. But when you're alone at night, tripping, looking at the sky, questioning why are you alive, know that you're not alone. Standing before a throne, morality written on your heart, now God's law is shown. Think about it, little kid, 5 years old, lying out of his teeth, fingers crossed behind his back. You ain't gotta teach him how to cheat, lie and steal. Come on now, let's get real. Some things you just knew, daddy didn't have to tell you the deal. Deep in your heart you just feel, there's that unexplained. Don't try to tell me that morals are an imagination in your brain. It's called God's law, homie, you can't run from it. Your whole life consists of right and wrong, it's the ultimate. When we fall short, guilt takes its permanent residence. Guilt turns to shame, then our conscience makes it evident. And we carry the weight on our shoulders, it's heavy like an elephant. It holds us to the ground and separates us from the king's crown. It's called sin. There ain't no way to butter it up. In fact, it's so dirty you can't even cover it up. And our actions are the main problem. Far from flawless, our whole existence can be summed up as fallen. Far away from God, mankind has become his enemy. God says no, and we say give it to me. We trample on all of his statutes and all of his love. We give our heart to everything else but the one above. See, that's considered a cosmic crime, that we would physically and spiritually die. But God, yet still in his love, put on a human suit. He walked on this earth into sin, he was bulletproof. You might know him as Jesus, sinless and perfect in all of his ways. And he took our sin as his debt that only his blood could pay. He is our substitute and traded his life for mine. Punished as a criminal on the cross, even though he was divine. But the story doesn't stop, he rose on the third day. The only man in the universe that conquered the grave. What do you mean conquered the grave? I mean Jesus took our penalty, so our sin debt could be paid. And sin was really our death, cause he didn't sin, he came back to life in the tomb he left. It seems impossible that any man could achieve, but it was incarnation of God, born of a virgin seed. The story is not false, many prophets spoke of his coming and suffered a great loss. Even the apostle Peter hung it upside down on a cross. Put it this way, the name of Jesus was against the law, but those who received him, he gave them a gift, the Spirit of God, to know the Creator is bliss. See, Jesus paid it all, but God has called you to give your life as the cost. He wants you and every part of you for the forgiveness of sins. His promise is true. When you take your last breath, what will you say when you stand before God on Judgment Day? When you take your last breath, what will you say when you stand before God on Judgment Day? When you take your last breath, what will you say when you stand before God on Judgment Day?